Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're now watching TVS News at 5 with me, Muhammad Yusuf. Let us begin with our top story. As the day draws nearer to the month of Ramadan, 6 Ramadan Bazaars will be open under the jurisdiction of Padawan Municipal Council MPP. Seeing the importance of such facility towards the community, the Sentosa Square Bazaar in KOTA Sentosa will be upgraded in time for next year's Ramadan.
Basically, the facilities in KOTA Sentosa Town Square is not up to the mark, and I've already gone down there. So I will be asking MPP to upgrade the KOTA Sentosa Town Square to make it more selesa for the next Ramadan Bazaar. This Ramadan Bazaar, we cannot make it already, since I'm just a newly elected YB. But for the next Ramadan Bazaar, I hope that the upgrading works in KOTA Sentosa will be better, and we will be able to the people visiting KOTA Sentosa Ramadan will have an even better experience, the next one. We're going to put in a changing room, we're going to put in toilets, so probably next year there will be proper toilets for people to use.
Yap hopes that the upgrading will be able to welcome more visitors to KOTA Sentosa, be it during or off Ramadan season, as the country's border reopens from April 1st.
Hopefully, with the opening of the market, hopefully businesses in KOTA Sentosa will continue to get better and better. And as everyone knows, currently the situation in the market now, because of COVID-19 pandemic, it has been a little bit slow. So hopefully this Ramadan in 7 Mile will kickstart everything.
The other 5 locations for the Ramadan Bazaars are located at the parking lots at Taman Maliha Shops, Liling Commercial Centre, Imat Batu Kawah Parking Area, Imat Matang Parking Lots and Prince Commercial Centre at 7 Mile. For records, MPP has been organising Ramadan Bazaars annually but was halted due to the pandemic, which resulted in the Movement Control Order MCO.
Food delivery riders pay their last tribute to their 20-year-old colleague Yohanis Abdullah, who perished in an accident on March 29th. The entourage, which comprises of 30 to 40 delivery riders, waited at Masjid Darul Ibadah on their motorbikes to accompany the deceased on his last journey to the Semayang Muslim cemetery, where he was later buried.
Meanwhile, earlier this evening, there were more riders who were waiting to pay their last respect to their friend. Yesterday, at about 11:35 a.m., the deceased was involved in a self-accident at Jalan Semarang Petrajaya, where it was believed that he had lost control of the motorcycle he was riding. He was pronounced dead at the scene before his body was sent to the Sarawak General Hospital for post-mortem. Based on the information gathered, this is the 4th fatal incident involving food delivery riders in the past 2 years, with the previous accident taking place in Kota Samarahan in November last year.
Now, in a sudden political shift, Sri Aman Member of Parliament Datuk Masih Kujat has withdrawn himself from Parti Sarawak Bersatu PSB with immediate effect. The former PSB Presidential Council member cited his move was due to the current national political instability and, in a video statement, vouched for Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Masih joined PSB from PRS and has yet to indicate his intention to return to the latter. However, a PRS party leader had expressed otherwise, rejecting party-hopping practices with the sole intention of personal gain.
Ini mengesahkan keluar daripada Parti Sarawak Bersatu PSB berkuat kuasa serta-merta. Keputusan ini dibuat selepas mengadakan persidangan dengan penuntut besar UMI di kuasaan saya dan juga beberapa faktor utama. Yang antaranya adalah ketidakstabilan politik di negara ini.
In the last 12 state election, Masih contested in Balai Ringin under PSB umbrella but lost to Gabungan Parti Sarawak's GPS candidate Datuk Snowdan Lawan. In March 2019, Masir left Parti Rakyat Sarawak PRS, one of the GPS component parties in Sarawak, and joined PSB. With his departure from PSB, the opposition party has only one MP left in the Dewan Rakyat, namely Barubian, who is the MP for Selangau.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, is of the view that the relationship between Sabah, Sarawak and Kalimantan, Indonesia needs to be improved and safeguarded so that all could benefit economically as one Bornean island.
The matter was disclosed by Tengah during his visit to KM0 point of Indonesia's new capital in Nusantara on Tuesday and expressed that he was honored to visit the site of a historical moment for Indonesia. Tengah said, once Nusantara is completed, it will have a positive impact on all states on the island of Borneo and mold on the idea of joint border development. Such an idea, he said, can be initiated by upgrading the present customs, immigration and quarantine CIQ complexes. Tengah is part of a Malaysian delegation to Nusantara, comprising of Minister in the Prime Minister's Office for Sabah and Sarawak Affairs, Dato' Sri Dr. Maximus Ongkili, and Sabah Deputy Chief Minister, Dato' Dr. Joaquim Gunsalam.
Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Hajah Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariah today departed for Kuantan, Pahang after a 2-day royal visit to the state. Her Majesty took off from Kuching International Airport at around 9 a.m. on Wednesday.
The Queen's arrival at Kuching International Airport at about 8:55 a.m. was received by the Premier of Sarawak's wife, Puan Sri Dato' Amar Jumain Tun Tuanku Bujang, and Deputy Premier of Sarawak's wife, Dato' Doreen Mayang. Also in attendance to greet Her Highness was Assistant Minister in the Premier's Department for Law MA63 and State Federal Relations, Dato' Sharifah Hasidah Said Aman Ghazali. During her official tour of duty, Her Majesty officiated the Songket and Keringkam Gallery and attended the state dinner with official dignitaries at Sarawak Legislative Assembly Building. On Tuesday, the Queen also visited the Borneo Cultures Museum and a Songket workshop at the Puncak Borneo Prison Complex.
Right, the Clawerga Malaysia sales program has been extended until June this year, following a very good response from the public. The program was initially scheduled to end on March 31st.
Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Dato' Sri Alexander Nantalingis said his ministry had obtained Prime Minister Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob's approval to extend the program following the positive feedback from the public who generally opted for the program to be continued. However, the ministry will fine-tune some details for the program to be more comprehensive and easier to be carried out. Nanta also took the opportunity to express his gratitude to various parties who volunteered and contributed their services throughout its implementation. Ismail Sabri launched the program on December 2nd last year to provide Malaysians the opportunity to obtain daily necessities at lower prices. Under the program, household items such as chicken, seafood, vegetables, cooking oil, sugar, flour and rice are offered at prices up to 20% cheaper than the local market prices. Nanta said the program was held in all 222 parliamentary constituencies with the support of 202 strategic partners, including the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industry, the Ministry of Finance, as well as industry players in the retail sector, which recorded 2.02 million visitors with a sale value of 38.09 million ringgit.
Welcome back to TVS News at 5. Now, a university lecturer found herself in hot water after a clip of her berating a student without a laptop in an online class went viral. The clip has since attracted criticism from social media users.
The lecturer is seen telling off the students for not owning a laptop despite the student explaining his situation. Following the flag, the public university said it has taken action against the lecturer, adding that the university will not compromise with anyone who damages the name of the university intentionally or otherwise. Its Vice-Chancellor, Professor Datuk Dr. Roziah Muhammad Janur, when met by reporters today, explained that the said lecturer was a contract lecturer at the university's campus in Seri Iskandar, Perak. Roziah said the professor at the Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying was an experienced lecturer and have always wanted the best for her students, but maybe this time she got carried away. The university also said it understands the constraints, difficulties and situations faced by students in the online learning and teaching process. With that, the university have traced the student and provided the student with a laptop for his online learning. The video also garnered the attention of the Ministry of Higher Education, who has instructed the university to provide an explanation over the video. Its Minister, Datuk Dr. Noraini Ahmad, said she had already contacted the university and had asked the management to provide feedback.
The Trilateral Cooperative Arrangement, or TCA, was created to address maritime security threats in the waters of Malaysia, Indonesia and the Philippines, involving relevant ministries and agencies of the three countries. The recent TCA meeting saw unanimous agreement where the three countries agreed to expand the TCA beyond its current defense sphere by effectively incorporating a multi-agency approach.
Speaking at a joint press conference with his counterparts, Indonesia's Prabowo Subianto and the Philippines' Delphine Lorenzana, after chairing the meeting. Hishamuddin said the meeting agreed to expedite the deployment of a permanent Trilateral Maritime Patrol Liaison Officer (TMPLO) in each country's maritime command center to enable effective exchange of information, monitoring and implementation of maritime and air surveillance activities.
Thirdly, to ensure greater emphasis in intelligence for future surveillance operations, to increase productivity and accuracy in curtailing crime-terror nexus activities in the region. The trilateral that we have between the three ministers should be expanded to intelligence agencies of the three countries.
He said senior officials of each country had also been asked to increase presence at sea, amplifying the combined show of force to prevent security threats in the Sulu and Sulawesi seas. Besides exploring the potential of land-based exercises which would be spearheaded by the chiefs of defense forces of the countries, the minister stressed that the TCA has been and is crucial in acting as a prevention against crime-terror acts in the Sulu and Sulawesi seas.
In 2021, we see a zero incident of kidnapping for ransom reported. We have shown the world that strong regional security cooperation is the way forward.
Meanwhile, Prabowo at the press conference described Malaysia and the Philippines as close friends and have strong historical, cultural, as well as shared common interests and threats. Sharing the same thoughts, Lorenzana said he is looking forward to strengthening the relationship between the Philippines, Malaysia and Indonesia through the TCA. For record, the last TCA ministerial meeting was held in September 2018 in Manila.
And that wraps up TVS News at 5. Join the one and only Haris Zainuddin tonight at 11:30 p.m. for TVS Nightline. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Good night and stay safe. Good evening.